Hello everyone, it's Kyle here with another C programming tutorial, and today we're talking about comments. At this point, we're many weeks into our series on C programming, and we've seen plenty of functions, commands, control structures, and what have you that do a lot of different things with our code. However, today we're learning about comments, which do absolutely nothing in your code. But how can that be? How could a comment which doesn't play any functional role in the way your code is executed or performed by your computer, how can that even be useful? It turns out comments are an invaluable tool for documenting and organizing your code, and in general just making them that much more legible. And they are a key part of any experienced programmer's toolbox, and something that you should never code without. So let's learn more about these awesome and powerful tools. So how do you go about making these magical comments that you've heard so much about in an actual C program? Well, there's two ways to do it. The first way is to use a double forward slash, in which case everything that you put on that line afterwards will be included as part of that comment. However, if you move on to the next line, you see the comment doesn't carry over. The next way to do that is to use a forward slash and an asterisk, and this is how you create a multi-line comment. So see, I'm typing a whole bunch of comment, but if I move to the next line, I'm still included within the comment. Now the thing is, now since there's no lower bound, everything below this is going to be included in the comment. So in order to cut that off and tell the compiler that you finished commenting, you put an asterisk and then another forward slash, and you can see that everything contained from here to here is within the comment, but then everything outside now has gone back to regular code. That's pretty much very simply how you make comments. I know this all seems really simple and maybe kind of trivial or silly, but I stress to you that the implications of this seemingly very simple commenting system are massive, because they are so helpful to you as a programmer. And let me show you some examples. So this is a project that I made back in 2016. So it's 2019 now, so that means this was about 2.5 years ago. And you can see I very thoroughly commented just about everything that's going on in my code. And here I'm using a whole bunch of single line comments, and I'm just talking about what's happening at each point in the code. Now if I had written this and not added any comments, now me looking back on this 2.5 years ago, I would have no idea what was going on at each point in the code. Well, it's probably not accurate to say no idea. I could certainly read the code, assuming that I still remember how to program in C, and figure out what's going on. But the comments make it so much easier for me to just look at it at a glance and see exactly what's going on, and then help that shape my understanding of what the code is doing, or if there's a mistake, I can still understand what I was intending to do and see what I did wrong at any point in time. Especially if you have a career as a programmer, you're probably going to be working as a developer under a boss or a manager, and you're going to want to comment your code so your manager can look through and see that you're doing the right thing, that your code is doing what it's supposed to be at a glance. If you make your manager have to read through all of your code, you're probably not going to make him or her very happy. Here's another example of some awesome things you could do with comments. Not only can you use them for making notes, but you can use them for sectionalizing the different parts of your code. See here, I used the multi-line comment and then put a whole bunch of equal signs and then labeled what this part of the code does. So this, I know, is the section for functions, and then I can scroll down. Here's another example of a multi-line comment used to write just a short paragraph of what this is doing at any point in time. And then we're going down here, and then we have the next section defined again. So this code is all compartmentalized by what it's doing at any given point in time. Not only just writing comments, but I'm using the comments to organize the code and make it easier for me to read and categorize what's going on in the code. So this is an example of what you can do with comments and how you can use them to make your code more legible and easier for not only yourself but for other people to understand. Now there's one final thing that I want to show you with comments that is extremely powerful. Let's say I'm working on this piece of code, right? And right here, let's say this piece of code is just not working, but I don't want to get rid of it. So like I could, select it all, backspace and delete it. That's a terrible programming practice. What you should do instead is you can use comments to do what is called commenting out the code, which is where you temporarily remove it. So I'm going to take a multi-line comment like that, and just section off this part of the code that I temporarily want to remove. So therefore, according to the compiler, it's removed because this part in here is functional. The comment has designated to the compiler that it just ignores this part, skips over it. However, it's still here, and I can bring it back at any time by deleting these comments. Now, the reason why this is important is because if you ever need to go back to this piece of code and use it or adjust it or fix it, then it's there for you, and you could just bring it right back. If I had just completely deleted this, there'd probably be no way for me to bring it back other than pressing Control-Z 1.5 million times, and at that point I've probably ruined other parts of my code. So this practice of commenting things out to temporarily remove them from the code is an excellent feature for developing, testing, and debugging code that I hope all of you will get to employ during your careers as C programmers. Thank you for watching my tutorial this week. If you haven't already, click here to check out my new book. It's called Building Smart LEGO Mindstorms EV3 Robots, and it's now available on Amazon. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this every Thursday. And if you have an idea for a tutorial, drop your suggestion in the comments section below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.